In this video, we are going to be solving equations by combining like terms. Whenever you combine like terms, you can either combine two variables, they should be in the same side of the equal sign, or you can combine only two numbers. Okay, it could be mixed. You could combine numbers in the same side with variables in the same side of the equal sign. Okay, so but for now, we're gonna do something easy. So on this case, we're gonna be combining like terms. They should have the same variable and the same exponent. If you don't see the exponent is gonna be 1. Okay, so in this case, this will be x to the first power and x to the first power. Now we can combine 3x with 4x. Can you see that they have the same sign? Add it up and keep the sign. Okay, now that's what you get when you combine those two. I'm gonna bring down -4 and all of that equals to 10. Now this is the two-step equation, and remember, we need to isolate the variable x. You always want to get rid of the number that is being added or subtracted to the variable. So that means I have to get rid of this 4 by doing the opposite, because we're subtracting. We want to make it 0 by adding 4. Adding 4. Adding positive and -4, that is going to be 0. That's how we're going to end up with 7x equals. On the other side, can you see that they have the same sign? Add it up and keep the sign. So that's how we're going to get 14. And now I have to get rid of this 7. I know I say 7x, but it means that number 7 is multiplying x. To get rid of it, I have to make it 1 by doing the opposite. Because we have multiplication between them, the opposite of multiplying is going to be dividing. So I'm going to be dividing by 7. And then on the other side, I'm going to be dividing by 7. Now, 7 divided by 7 is going to be 1. Okay? And 1 multiplies x. 1 times x, you're going to get x. On the other side, 14 divided by 7. So the answer is going to be 2. So the answer, x equals 2, would be the answer on this one. Well, here we combine two numbers. They are on the same side of the equal sign. Now, the next one, we're going to do the same thing, but now look, this is -9 and +3. We are going to be combining two numbers without variables. Okay, so that means I'm going to start by rewriting 2x equals combining like terms -9 plus 3. They have different sign, subtract, and keep the sign of the biggest number. So that's how you're going to get negative, right? -6. And then I'm going to rewrite plus 3x. Now we have variables on each side of the equal sign. So I have to get rid of one of these two. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this 3x by making it 0 because it's positive, the whole thing is positive. Then I'm gonna make it 0 by subtracting the whole thing. Okay, subtracting 3x. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now, positive and -3x, that is gonna be 0. That's how you're gonna end up with -6. On the other side, can you see that they have different sign? Subtract, you're gonna get -1x. But remember, the -1 is multiplying x. So -1 times x, you're gonna get -x. We don't write the 1. Okay. Now, this is not the answer. Okay. The reason is we're never gonna leave the variable with a negative sign next to it. So to get To make it positive, we either gonna be multiplying by -1 or divide by -1. So in this case, I wanna be multiplying by -1, and negative times a negative turns into positive. On the other side, negative times a negative turns into positive. So the answer, x equals to 6. Okay, only when the variable is positive, then we can see the number, and the number should be either positive or negative, but it's going to be the number, not the variable. Okay, the answer, x equals to 6. Now, on the next one, now we're going to be combining one more time two variables. Okay, they must be in the same side of the equal sign. So in this case, I'll be able to combine negative 5x to the first power with x to the first power. This number is 1 times x. And you're going to see only the answer. 1 times x is going to be x. I know that this is positive 1. Okay, and we're going to put it back whenever we need it. So because you're learning this, I'm going to have to put it back. But if you do, but somebody who has experience, they don't have to put the 1 because we know this is positive 1 minus 5x. They have different sign, subtract, and keep the sign of the biggest number. The biggest number is negative. Okay. Now you see this -3. I'm gonna just bring it down, and on the other side, I'm gonna write 12. Okay. The next step, I have to get rid of this -3. To get rid of it, I'm gonna do the opposite to make it 0. I'm gonna be adding 3. Okay. And then on the other side, I'm gonna be adding 3. Then adding positive and -3, that is gonna cancel, it's gonna be 0. And that's how you end up only with negative 4x equals 12 plus 3, that would be 15. Now, I know that we have multiplication. This is -4 times x. To get rid of this 4, we have to make it 1 by dividing by -4. Okay, whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you do it to the other side, divide by -4. Now, negative divided by a negative turns into positive 1. 1 times x, we're going to write x equals. On the other side, positive divided by a negative, the whole thing is going to turn into negative 15 over 4. Now, all the time, you're going to get a whole number. Okay, so in this case, this is an improper fraction, and that will be the answer. Okay, next. Now we're going to be combining two numbers. They are on the same side of the equal sign. So that means we should be able to combine -9 with positive 12. They have different sign. Subtract. That's how you get positive 3. Okay, and keep the sign of the biggest number. So it's going to be positive. Rewriting negative 6x. On the other side, we have negative 3x. Okay, now we have two variables on each side of the equal sign. Then what we're going to do is we have to get rid of one of these variables. So I want to get rid of this one. So if I get rid of this one, then I'm going to have all the variables in one side and all the numbers in the other side. So to get rid of this one, I'm going to have to make it 0 because the whole thing is negative. I'm going to be adding 6x. Adding 6x. Okay. Now adding positive and -6, that will be 0. That's how we end up with 3 equals. On the other side, can you see that they have different sign? subtract, keep the sign of the biggest number. So that's how you get positive 3x. And when I say 3x, it means that 3 is multiplying x. It's going to be always multiplication. To make it 1 and get rid of it, I have to divide by 3. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. We always going to do the opposite. Dividing by 3, dividing by 3. Now 3 divides 3, you get 1. On the other side, 3 divides 3, you get 1. But this number 1 is going to be multiplying x. 1 times x. The answer is going to be only x. And that's how we solve for x by combining like terms.